So peace, y'all. This is the Hood Mystic, and today we're going to discuss character assassination of Monique, the comedian and actress we've grown up with. We are going to talk about the psychological attack because it's one thing for sure and two things for certain. Where in our mind we see individuals, the subconscious mind does not think that way. The subconscious mind represents oneness. So what we see and reflect in other people is right and exact for ourselves. So when we watch movies like Precious and things of that nature, we may think that we are distant from that situation, but when they use people that resemble your mama, they are talking about you, my nigga. That's why you should be offended. So this is what this is about. But we're gonna do the astrological and the psychological breakdown. This is not like something that you've heard before, so it's new information. So I'm just asking if you just give it a chance. Video will be about 15 minutes, and I'm gonna just discuss some things and open your mind to some things. And if you already knew it, you can add to the conversation in the comments so we can have a discussion, because if you know it, I'm telling you, it's a majority of people who do not know this. So we have to begin to spread this information of the psychological and stereotypical attack. I am the Hood Mystic. This presentation is brought to you by hoodmystic.com. Right now we have a sale on our Cash Money Spell shirt. So in order for me to keep delivering content in this fashion, it's not free. So just asking for a little bit of support and a little bit of donations, but not for nothing. You get a bomb ass shirt, you know what I'm saying? So just look out, www.hoodmystic.com, click the shop tab, or you can click the spiritual services tab, and we'll talk about that at the end of the video. So back to Monique ass. First, we have to talk about the word stereotype. And we cannot talk about the word stereotype without the word ritual. Did you know that? Did you know that a stereotype and a ritual are synonyms? Meaning that they may have a different definition, but in all likelihood, they mean the same thing. And so a stereotype is a widely held but fixed and oversimplified image or idea of a particular type of person or thing. So when they say black people are lazy, when they say black people are uneducated, when they say black people are on welfare, these are stereotypes. These are widely held but fixed and oversimplified images of an idea about a particular group of people. And this is a ritual that they must take in ever so often. And one of their biggest rituals that they ever did was the movie Precious. And so ever so often, they want to jog that shit in your memory banks. So they bring their willing participant, Miss Monique, to come fuck with y'all every year. Once in a while, she'll come, peek her head up out of the hole, say some shit, rile you niggas up, and then disappear back into her hole. But let's talk about this before we get into that. We all use stereotypes all the time without knowing it. We have met the enemy of equality, and that enemy is us. And so I want to take from Psychology Today, an article written in 1998. Precious came out in 1999. And that's neither here nor there, but I'm just speaking on a concept for you niggas. That everything ain't how you perceive it to be. Sometimes it's people playing with your goddamn emotions. So In order to understand this, you have to understand the psychological play, or else you're not going to be able to focus in on the shit that you need to focus in on, because somebody has got your attention. That's a distraction. And so the reason why you could be distracted by this person is because they tap into an archetype. Now, Monique's initials is MAH. Ma. She represents the mother archetype, but they'll take that mother archetype in its pure mama loving form, and they'll just dip it in the mud and just have it do some old crazy, the most craziest shit that you ever could. So you not understanding the deranged and sick and twisted way that they turn this thing, you just look at it as the pure mom energy. But they already did the ritual. They already did the trick. But I'm going to explain that. Stereotypes are categories that have gone too far. When you start talking about welfare and you start talking about deadbeat daddy, and you start talking about all of these negative things, you have gone too far as a people, because no other group of people does that. No matter how evil and sick that group of people do, because it comes a time where you know you got a bad thing going on in your family, but you're not going to be represented by that bad thing. You have to create a good positive narrative for yourself, even if you are despicable, even if you are evil. But we as a people respond to the messages that say that we may be hostile, stupid, slow, or weak. We award that and we accept that. I mean, not all of us, but the people who don't know accept that. And so it's important that we articulate it in such a way that we begin to speak against the entities and the energy who are putting out a negative image on your culture. Because the enemy cannot put a negative image out on your culture because he is not a part of your culture. They would have to get somebody a part of your culture that you would respect to twist and morph it around into some crazy shit. But we're going to break this thing down psychologically and astrologically what's going on. We not only mirror the ambivalence we see in our society, but also mirror it in a precisely the same way. So the children who don't know any better watch these negative images on the media and they mirror that. And you as an adult may know that's some stupid ass shit. But the children, they don't have that mechanism. And they don't respect your judgment as a parent. They think you're weird and outdated for not wanting to twerk everywhere you go. So really understanding the media's portrayal of your culture, you have to begin to redirect that energy and understand that energy and not fall for it every time. Hook, line, and sinker. Okay, had to throw this on the charger real quick. When African Americans accurately perceive the hostile expressions that their white counterparts are unaware of, they may respond with hostility of their own, thereby perpetuating the stereotype. Meaning, if people treat you a certain type of way, that triggers a hostility within you, then that even proves the point to which they even feel the way that they feel in the first place. Like, I knew that person was an animal. I knew that person was an idiot. So In order for us to understand we first have to understand stereotypes and begin to consciously reverse those stereotypes, and then notice when somebody is projecting a stereotype on you and then politely correct them, because this is so important for our children. That I'm just one voice, so it's not to say what can happen, but I have to come on my platform and speak the truth. So there's no telling how far this will go. So it's just important to get the word out for people just not to fall hook, line, and sinker when we see people with our same skin tone and then they identify with a particular archetype within us that we now respect them. Monique. Nikki Parker. Nikki Parker was a single mother who had a child young, decided to get her life together, and went to community college with her daughter and enrolled the same year that her daughter went. Nikki Parker met Mr. Ogilvy and fell in love at first sight. The only thing was Professor Ogilvy didn't feel the same way about her. So for 7 or 8 years, we watched Nikki Parker chase Professor Ogilvy, and Professor Ogilvy play Nikki Parker as if he looked better than Nikki Parker, which was never true, or 2, like he was just that guy when he never was. But we sat and watched it because, internet wasn't that big around 1999 when the Parkers was out. So we sat and watched it and got indoctrinated because we was young and didn't have the foresight to have, foreknowledge to differentiate between what's fact or what's fiction. A lot of young men watched the Parkers and automatically equated that heavy set, dark skin meant unattractive and undesirable. And if she wasn't sassy or making me laugh, then I shouldn't want her. And so they ended up getting married, but you had to stick with the whole show for all of its entirety to the end of the whole season to finally see Miss Parker and Professor Ogilvy get married. And it wasn't like he fell in love with her because she got her shit together or nothing like that. He fell in love with her because she finally found the perfect dude. She finally found the perfect dude, and then he got jealous. Now, that ain't no type of love that I want. But that's neither here nor there. That's the psychological makeup of Nikki Parker. And I think it's fucking despicable, you feel me? Like, Nikki Parker shouldn't even have been chasing this nigga in the first place, and let alone 7 seasons. If that shit was real life, like, me and Nikki can't be cool, because I'm gonna be like, man, you gotta let Mr. Ogilvy go. Like, I know you need to fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't fuck that nigga, man. Professor Ogilvy. And then Miss Monique's major breakout role, Mary Jones, the mother of Precious Jones in the movie Precious, came out 2009. Mary is an overweight, impoverished, uneducated, unemployed, bad decision making, bad mouth African American woman. Now, if this movie was like a TV movie or just some regular shit that just came out, was on Netflix or whatever, like a hood classic, I wouldn't even be talking about it, bruh. I'm gonna explain why this is so much of an attack on you, if you was a melanated person, that it cannot be denied. This is denied. This is an international attack on the American melanated man and woman. She also has HIV and AIDS. Mary has no job and lives solely off of the government. And she was a product of a relationship with Mary's boyfriend named Carl Jones, who was already a married man when Mary met him. The child got Down syndrome. All Mary do is watch TV and masturbate. Mary is a lazy parent, and she'd rather live off the welfare system than get a job and make money to provide for her family. She views Precious and her grandchildren as mere pawns to be used just to get more money so she can secretly scam the welfare system for her own benefit. You've seen the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, you should see it, because it's like a horror movie. Because this is an attack on us. For people who don't know us, you might know 50 people who own businesses. It ain't for the insecure hip crowd. It's for the international crowd when they want to update on the melanated people because they need a justification as to, why they might shoot us. You know what I'm saying? They need a justification. Well, really, these people is really animals. This is how they really are. So when we treat them the way we treat them, or things happen where they don't get rights, or we lowball them, or whatever the case may be, we don't give them a passport to come to your country. This is why. They overweight, impoverished, uneducated, unemployed, bad decision making, and a bad mouth. And irregardless if you are not that. And if you know 1,000 people who speak against this stereotype, these people don't care about that shit. You know why? Because it is. I had to zoom my fucking monitor out 33% to encapsulate all of the awards that this is not for the movie. This is for her ass. This is for Monique. This is how many awards she got for this movie. Internationally. In all realms of thought. People saw this movie and motherfucking said, oh, this is great. Such a wonderful piece of cinema. Meanwhile, I've seen pornos with better storylines than this movie, cuz. Like, this movie was not interesting, deep. It was expected. It was no hooks. No shit that made you say, wow. It's shit that shocked you and disturbed you. But this is 2009. And then these 2014 and 2016, them was the next movies that she did. So, riddle me this, Batman. How do you be in a movie and get all of these awards and then don't be in another movie until 5 years later? So if you ever had a question of, did Monique get blackballed? She most certainly did get blackballed. 2009 from 2014 and nothing. Except the 2-year talk show that was already established, fresh off of the show. So you rode that as long as you could. And after that, nothing. 2014, you did a little this, a little bit of that. Little guest feature roles. Because you done, you deserve it. You deserve to be in more movies than what you are in. So, of course, you gonna do something. You gonna break through if you persistent enough. But shit, nothing? In 5 years? Yeah, you was blackballed, cuz, like. But, should we stand up for her? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Monique said she was paid 50,000 for Precious, and so she got 50,000 for a role. It was an independent movie, and the trouble came when they wanted her to fly to France for the Cannes Film Festival, and she a nigga just like any of us a nigga. You give us a check for $50,000, you know what I'm saying? After you done paid all your bills and did everything that you had to do, you done spent that and you looking for the next check. So when they say, okay, because first they didn't know that the movie was going to be a success. Nobody wanted to put the movie out because there was no sexy star in the movie. And so it went to the Sundance Film Festival and became hugely successful. And then from there, it went to the Cannes Film Festival in France. And they said, Monique, you need to go out there. She said, can you pay for me to go out there? They said, no. And I think she ain't have it. So she couldn't go. And so whether she had it or she decided not to go, from that decision, she didn't work for 5 years. And so when they say you didn't play the game, meaning that when these people tell you to do something, you do it. We need you to be flexible like that. But at the same time, you did the damn movie in the first place. So they figure like, okay, we got us one. And maybe she had a self-realization. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you exactly why. But let's keep pushing. And that was last year, 2017. And now this year, she's back in the news again. Said she was offered $500,000 and Amy Schumer got $17 million and Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle got $20 million and she got $500,000. And she couldn't accept the no. She had to call for a boycott. Boycott Netflix for what? Why don't we boycott you for presenting yourself like that for $50,000? You would be in Precious for $50,000, but you wouldn't do a comedy special for $500,000? That's, I mean, you are the type to sell your soul, so why not now? That's how they feel. That ain't how I feel. That's how the Illuminati feel when they be lowballing their ass. Cause shit, you sold out your whole race for $50,000. Why not get $500,000? Why you want to boycott us now? That is because she is a Uranus dominant. Her Uranus is in Virgo, conjunct Pluto. And so a Uranus dominant person is always headstrong and always right. And that is fine in the moment. But if you have any proper retrospect on a Uranus dominant person, it's like, wait a second. You just using your energy right now to steamroll it. But if we was to be, objective with your ass, you have no integrity. So you get what you deserve in life, always. And we could argue with it, and we can deny it, and we can even say no. But don't try to bring other people into what you deserve or what you don't deserve. Because say, for instance, a Uranus, the dominant person, gets the check that they want. Does that mean that she's going to share some of that shit with you? Hell no. So, avoid Monique like the plague. Don't be on her Instagram. Don't be following her. Because she always right. And even when she wrong, she right. So, I'm not about to sit here and break down her whole chart. I'm just looking at this Uranus and Virgo in her current situation. And it's like, if I was advising her, I would ask her to take a couple steps back and to start dealing with her own shit and dealing with her own karma and dealing with her own shadow, because she did that fucked up movie and she never even apologized for it. And why should she? Because she's an individual and she feels like, the shit that she do has no effect on other people until her ass get lowballed or blackballed. Then it's everybody's problem. Life don't work like that, Monique. So, grow up. That's just my opinion. Entertainment purposes only. I'm the Hood Mystic. If you need your astrology read and you want somebody that's going to keep it 100 with you and give you some shit that can actually help you rather than some shit that just make you feel good, fuck with me, man. I got it. Email me at hoodmystic@gmail.com. Like I said earlier, the site is www.hoodmystic.com. I'm available for now, so get with me while it's available, because tomorrow ain't always promised. So I'm here, man, and this has been Character Assassination of Monique. I'm the Hood Mystic, man, and we out. Peace.